This is Matthew Kratter's Bitcoin University. Today I want to talk about getting this soft fork started finally. I'm going to be talking about how to run Bitcoin Knots plus BIP-110. But first, why should you run this software? You should run this node software if you hate Bitcoin NFTs, in other words, inscriptions, if you hate scam coins on Bitcoin like BRC20 tokens, and you hate op returns greater than 83 bytes, and you don't just want to stop them at the policy level with good mempool filters like Bitcoin Knots has, but you also want to make it impossible for Bitcoin miners to include this garbage in blocks at the consensus level going forward. BIP-110 lets spammers and scammers know that they're not welcome on Bitcoin and forces them to migrate to scam chains like Ethereum or Solana. If you want to be reminded why large amounts of non-monetary data are so bad for Bitcoin, you can watch this video, which I'll include in the description notes below. It's called An Attack on Bitcoin Node Runners. At this point, there's so many Bitcoin Core version 30 nodes, over 16% of the network in spite of all the bugs in that code. There's so many Bitcoin Core version 30 nodes relaying non-monetary garbage that it's impossible to intercept all the unmined spam with our Bitcoin Knots nodes, and we're still forced by consensus rules to accept this spam once it gets included in a mined block. Bad actors can also submit this spam directly to a malicious mining pool like Mara and get it included in a block. Hence the necessity to consider soft forks like BIP-110, which will fight spam at the consensus level and not just at the mempool policy level as we've been doing with Bitcoin Knots by itself. You can read more about the soft fork here in order to decide if this soft fork is something that you'd like to support. This is at BIP110.org, which is a great site that sort of summarizes everything. Remember that you're a self-sovereign Bitcoiner if you're running a Bitcoin node, and that you get to decide which node software to run. So learn as much as you can and don't rush into running software until you understand the implications. I've already made a bunch of videos about BIP-110 that you can find on this channel, and I'll be making many more in the coming days and weeks. We'll be covering many of the implications and intricacies and risks in future videos. My favorite way to run this software is on a Start9 server. You can either buy one or build your own. They're currently running a sale. You can get a server one for $622, or if you can afford it, the server pure is also really cool at $800. You can also build your own, and I should say as well here, I'm not being paid or compensated in any way by Start9. I'm just a happy customer who paid for my own personal server. So this is what it looks like when you're running it. It says Bitcoin Knots plus BIP-110. The logo here has not been updated. If I go to one of the Lightning apps here, we can see what the logo actually looks like. If I were to clear my browser cache, which I don't want to do at the moment, you'd see this logo. So there is a little bit of a caching issue, I believe. But if we click on here, we can see that I am indeed running the correct software. If you go down here, you'll see it's version 29.2.01, and this is the git hash, which shows at the end RC3. So I'm running release candidate number 3. You don't have to understand all these things in order to run it. One thing I would recommend doing though before you install this, which I'm going to show you how to do today, is to go in and pause all these services. You can go in here and just click stop and pause everything, and also be sure to pause if you're running Bitcoin Knots or Bitcoin Core here. Be sure to go in here and press the stop button and pause it before you update. The good news is that Bitcoin Knots plus BIP-110 will not need to download the whole blockchain again, but will use your existing version. So this is quite seamless, and I'm going to show you how to do it today using these instructions, which I'll put a link to in the description notes below. So you first get inside of your Start9 server, you go into system here, you click manage 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At the bottom you'll see it says dev tools unlocked, and then after you do that, you're going to want to go to marketplace. And then let's go here. We click 5 times, go to marketplace, click change, add custom registry, and then we're going to paste in this link right here. So let me copy that and then go back over here. I'll click change, I'll click add custom registry. I will paste this in. I'll click save and connect. It says validating. And so now we can see we're in the BIP-110 custom registry. If you scroll down here, you won't see any results until you click on Bitcoin, and then you can click on Bitcoin Knots plus BIP-110. You can see the logo showing up right here. When you click on this, you'll see this page come up, and you're going to want to click on reinstall, even if it shows that you're already running a version of Bitcoin Knots. So this is a little bit quirky until we get the new Start9 operating system, but just click reinstall. I believe that's all you need to do, and then it will install it. Then you can click restart, or you can click start again, and then you can turn back on your datum gateway and your Electrum server, etc. As I said, be sure to pause Bitcoin Knots or Bitcoin Core before reinstalling it. So I'll put a link to this in the description notes below. You'll have it up and running after that. Then the next thing we want to do is make sure we have it properly configured. You can decide how to set these settings, but I'm going to show you how I do it. If we go in here and we click on this once we've installed it, we go to config, we go to mempool. I have data carrier size set at 42 bytes. You can set it at 83 bytes or 42 bytes or wherever you choose. I am not permitting bare multisig. I'm rejecting parasites. I'm rejecting tokens. I'm persisting the mempool. And then if we close this and we go to advanced and we look at pruning mode, I have that disabled. Then we can also click on peers. I have make it public. I disable clearnet, so I'm just running this over Tor. And let's see what else. Pruning mode, I said we have disabled. And that looks like everything. So that's all set. We can close this up. And you can use this just as you would use any Bitcoin Knots node normally, but you're also signaling now for the soft fork. I'll put a link here to one of Luke Dasher's web pages that shows you how many people are running this soft fork client software. It used to be called RDTS, and we can see there are currently only 114 nodes running this software, just 0.13% of the network. But I expect these numbers to really skyrocket, as we saw with Bitcoin Knots. A lot of people said no one would ever run Bitcoin Knots. At the beginning of 2025, there are only 364 nodes running it. Today, there are over 5,000 nodes. So I expect a lot of you guys in particular, to migrate from running just plain Bitcoin Knots node to one that is also fighting for BIP-110. And this is how these things always work. The famous video where you have just one guy doing his weird dance at the concert, and pretty soon everyone else is up dancing with him and having a good time. Now this video is showing you how to install release candidate 3.0 on Start9. Again, this is still a release candidate. It's a stable release candidate. It's not the final activation client, though it may turn out to be essentially the same thing. But it's going to be very important that you upgrade as soon as newer versions of the software become available. I'll let you know here and on X when they become available. And you can also follow the NIM that's leading the soft fork, Dathon Ohm, to stay on top of the latest developments. I'll put a link to his X account here, and we can see him announcing the exact software that I just showed you how to install today. This is release candidate 3 of UASF BIP-110 user activated soft fork. And I've been told by Leo that this is now available on Umbrel as well. So we thank Leo for packaging these things up for Start9 and for Umbrel and for other nodes. And it looks like people are actually running this even on Windows. Here's Mark Palmren saying, add one more, easy as pie on Windows 11. Simply install release candidate 3 over release candidate 1, and I'm noting BIP-110 on Knots again, already relaying clean, filtered, spam-free transactions to 16 other nodes after 15 minutes. This release candidate's also available obviously on GitHub. If you know what you're doing, you can look through here and find the correct thing for your machine. So for example, if you are running on a Mac desktop like this is, and you want to run this as a standalone client, and it's the Apple chip version of the Mac desktop, I believe you'd want this one right here, the ARM64 Apple Darwin zip. And I actually just downloaded this and started installing it. You can see it right here, and I'm running it right here. It's downloading the blockchain because I don't have a version of Knots already running on here. Estimated time left until sync 14 hours. So you can run this as a standalone client using Mac, Linux, or Windows. But I'd say if you're running the standalone client, consider running it over Tor for now until we get our numbers up. I've been told that this is the way to do it. You want to go into your config file inside the software after downloading it. Again, this is not on Start9. This is if you're just running the standalone client on Mac or Windows or Linux, and you want to put only net equals onion in your config. Make sure there are no clear net, only net config lines as well. And the other thing you want to do before doing that, you want to make sure you have the Tor browser, so you have the Tor software on your computer as well. So you can just download the Tor browser and have that running in the background before you do this. I believe that's how you do it. If there are any mistakes here, we will eventually sort them out as we get everyone up to speed and learn how to do this. But I just want to make sure you guys had this available now that it's finally available, so you can start running this, playing around with it, learning how it works. And there'll be many, many more videos to come explaining the rationale for the soft fork and further software configuration options. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the subscribe and like buttons. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when we publish my next video. And let me know your questions and comments in the comment section below. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.